Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day. There was a ton of poppers happening. So let's go through the list and see what's happening. Let's see CTCX, ATNF, GRI, BDRX, VS, OKLO, QNRX, CTNT, STEC, PHUN, and there was others. So that was just a little bit of the poppers that we've been going over. So let's go through our list. I have quite a list. I was going through some of the scanners and a bunch of stuff. So we have an action-packed show. Let's get rolling. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And again, I hope everybody was locking in some profits today with all these poppers. Let's look at them right now. How about that CTCX? That's at Carmel Corp right there. And it was looking really nice. It just popped right up there, right underneath the 20, and it popped up. It started out, it opened at 50, it went up to 127, and it is at 62 cents right now. CTCX, so possibly could run up more in the morning. Might be a momentum play right there, but that was definitely on one of the lists, CTCX, and that got cruising this morning. ATNF. We just were looking at 180 Life Sciences, and that one went nuts today. It ran up to what, 1775, I guess. Let me look. No, actually 1823. I thought it was in the 18s. It says 17s on the FinViz. That's why I hesitated and looked on mine because it was up at 1823 and it opened at $1.75. It's at 520 right now. So that is your ATF, and obviously ran up like a maniac. So I would expect it to come down. It went right to the top. So we'll see that probably pull back there. GRI, we just were looking at this thing, ran up like 9 cents, and then another one in the after hours, and this started to get moving. So it was up over 25 cents, opened at 41, got up to like almost 55 cents there. And it's at 46 right now, 48 possibly. Let me look at this GRI. And it got, I was gonna say 71. Yeah, FinViz is so off anymore. GRI did get up to 71 today, and it opened at 38. I just have to look on mine because it gives you a way. I was looking at it like, what is going on here? And I should have just known to go on mine. So, and it actually closed at the 48 mark. So that is accurate, but it did run up into the 70s to 71, and that was GRI. And another one that's just kind of ran up, not completely though, didn't get to the top. This one could be a runner tomorrow as well, so we'll keep our eye on GRI for tomorrow, see if it can continue that momentum. BDRX, this one we had gone over. This was up like $3. It ran up, it opened at 848 and got up to 1089. Let me see. Um, Yes, opened at 750, got up to 1650, and its low is 625. It's at $7 right now. And yeah, I can't even look at the FinViz just to get the setup kind of. But it did run up there and it hit the it got up there to its resistance and then it kind of pulled back, not completely though. I don't know if it's really going to run up tomorrow after that run up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. BDRX, VS, this one went crazy. Versus Systems, this one ran up like crazy this morning as well. It opened at $2 and went up to 9.59. Its low is $1.65 and it's at 3.35 right now, and just completely ran into that top area. So expect that to come back down. Maybe you would try to run up a little bit higher than the 395 it's at in the morning, but wouldn't expect a whole lot there. And that is VS OKLO. That's Oklo Inc. And it was up cruising this morning as well and all day today. It opened at 1164, got to 1771, and it's sitting at 1774. So it's still sitting up there pretty nice. And it could run more in the morning as a momentum play in that top. So watch for that one to try to get up there in the morning as well early. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. OKLO and QNRX. We just went over that yesterday. And this one just went popping up and it was looking good right there. And it sure was because it went popping, that's for sure. And what did it do? It opened at 51 and it got up to 156. So jumped up over $1. and it's sitting at 82 right now. And I'm not so sure that this one, it could run up in the morning just again early as a momentum play, but that one does have a big candle all the way up there, QNRX. So it did pop up there for sure. And then it came right back down. So that is QNRX. And how about the Cheetah? We put that on the list yesterday, and that began to run today. So we were looking at it last night, said the Cheetah wanted to run. It opened at 23, it got up to 25, and it's sitting around like 24 right now, right? Yeah, right around 24. So the Cheetah started to move, and that's not looking bad to continue its momentum tomorrow. CTNT, and literally put that on the list yesterday. Caught my eye, popped it on the list, and boom, there we go. So we're cruising them now. I mean, we're just crushing everything in sight. STEC, Laptop Travel just had this one on a list, and this one went flying today as well. I mean, this list is insane right now. That just the poppers that we've been. So again, you can't possibly trade them all, but just look how many great opportunities we go through, and almost all of them pop at some point. It's just a matter of the setup, and we've been nailing them down pretty good now. So I think within 2, 3 weeks, we're definitely in within usually 2 weeks now, and even try to nail them even sooner. But yeah, STEC, that one opened at what? It just hold on, that one's opened at 225 and ran up to what 325, and then it came back down. It's at like $1.60 right now. So that was Sandtech, and we just looked at that bad boy as well. And here's a new one, IGPK. I posted about it. Someone asked about this thing. It is an OTC one, and all kinds of people are all involved in it, and it seems to be very popular right now. It used to be a cannabis company. I knew it pretty immediate when I saw the stock ticker. I couldn't remember the name, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that one's a cannabis company. And its name was Integrated Cannabis Solutions. Well, now they're going to be trading under what? JFHE. And if you go on Twitter or X and go to like the at JFHE com, it'll pop up wherever this thing's trading as or whatever the info is. That's what I was looking at for some info. But an interesting one for sure. So I'm not exactly sure where it's going to open. I think they're changing the stock ticker, but seems to have a ton of chatter behind it, and a lot of people are very interested in it. So it's one that we're going to definitely keep our eye on. And again, I just knew it as a cannabis company, and they were telling me it wasn't, and I was like, huh, it still comes up as one, but I was looking into it, so I'm not exactly sure when they're changing the stock ticker and everything. And it still has yesterday's date, as a matter of fact, on my chart right here, and I'm just looking right here to see what this one does say today on stock charts, but it won't come up on FinViz because it's an OTC. So that's IGBPK, and I'll keep an eye on this thing and just see what's happening with it, because like I said, a ton of people were talking about it when I just kind of looked at it. I had no idea it was going to be that popular, to be honest with you. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what's going on. CETX, let's see. It's up 7 cents today, and it was starting to move. We say these things start curling up, they'll bounce around. It actually started to make that curl today, so it's looking good. Let me look at it on the other charts, and it is starting to make that curl right there, CETX. So yeah, I think it's going to start to actually move now. So keep our eye. We saw it today. I kind of knew yesterday it was bouncing around and flat, and I said just look for it. If it starts to make that curl up, it's going to start to move. Now, obviously, it's going to bounce around as it gets to that line. They all do. So watch for that as it jumps up and then kind of pulls back a little bit, and trade it smart as it gets to the line, because we know about a day out this thing's going to want to run, and this thing's going to want to run. So let's keep an eye on it. And that 20 is all the way up at like 430 something. So this thing's at 45 cents. It's way down there. and it is going to get moving. So keep your eye on CETX because that one is going to get rolling. And BSLK, that's one we had looked at before, Bolt Projects Holdings, and it caught my eye today, that's for sure. I was like, wow, that thing looks pretty interesting. And then as soon as I posted about it, it started to run. So that was nice. But it opened at about 49 cents, under 50, and it got up to like 63 cents today. It just started running right after I posted about it. And that is that BLSK. No, I lied. It's BSLK. BSLK. And it is looking pretty decent right there. We were looking at it before. It did pull back. Looks like the bottom was on the 10th, October 10th at 35 cent area. And it is looking pretty good at 55 cents right now. Is that what it is? Yeah, 57 it says on mine. So right in that area. But looks like it wants to try to continue going up, possibly even get to that basement floor and see what happens. So watch what it's doing. It's in one of them shell companies too. So these things can get crazy. The 20's coming down for it. It's at 70 cents. And again, it ran up to 67. So it wasn't too far off. It's trying to test it. And keep your eye on this BSLK because you know we're always a few weeks early. And of course we were. And it grabbed my attention today and boom, there it went. So there you go with BSLK. You know what you're looking for. GDHG, another one, that Golden Heaven Group. That's that China one that we were looking at for a long time there before the split, even, and then kind of just sizzled off as the China ones were heating up. This one kind of phased out as it was splitting, but guess what? It came out of the basement. It's looking much better right now. That 20's come down for it. Should jump right up on it today. It got over it at that 275 area. GDHG. Yeah, it got up to like 273, 275, right in that area right there. And that's basically, let's see. Yeah, if it can stay there at that top, I mean, it can get to the 270 area and really get moving. So I expect it to try to jump up tomorrow, and then it has to actually get to that $3 area. If it can get to $3, I'm pretty sure I posted about this bad boy today. It gets to that $3 area, it's going to be like a springboard and it's going to just take off. So that's that GDHG. And this was the example that I would use for the how crazy the China one gets, China stocks can get. And like I would say, 2 months ago, before you guys just witnessed how fast and crazy they can get, because it is. It's just like someone turns on a light switch and they just start going nuts. And I would use this one as an example. This one actually never did it. Everyone else did it, but maybe it's about to go run hard right now. So we'll watch it in the morning and see what it wants to do. GDHG. And yeah, I'll keep an eye on that bad boy. TNXP. Now this one was setting up today as well and looking really good. That 20 looks like it wants to push it up over to that 50, which is at 23 cents. And this is in the 15s, which is a nice little pop for it. So keep your eye on TNXP and see if that one, I think that's going to get moving in the morning, guys. So we'll watch that one in the morning for sure. And I think you're going to have a good one right there. All these biotechs have been cruising the last few days, obviously, and this one had the 39 million in volume, and it is looking good. We were probably 3 weeks early again, and we had been looking at it, and now it's setting up, and it looks pretty good there. So keep your eye on the TNXP in the morning if you didn't already look at it today. CDIO. People were looking at this today, and I thought it was an interesting one. It was up a penny, and then it started to run. I think it opened, let me get the exact numbers on it. CDIO. It opened at 25 and it got up to 28. Its low is 21, and it's at about 23 cents right now. And it did stay over the fifth, or yeah, over the 20 right there. And it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look great, but it didn't look too bad as well. It looked like almost like a healthy pullback look, like it ran up and had a healthy pullback in the same day. So I'll keep my eye on it in the morning, but you know, if it's moving, it can get up to the 50s around like that 31 and a half, and it could honestly bounce in the morning. So watch CDIO and see if it wants to. You'll know immediately in the morning which way it's going. So you'll know exactly where it has to get to too before it hits resistance at that 31 cent area. So just keep an eye on that in the morning and see if it wants to run for you. Could be a little momentum play there. CDT, that's our Conduit Pharmaceuticals. and this one started to really curl up. It ran up the other day on October 11th, and it got up to what, almost 11 and a half cents. Maybe it got up even higher when it was in the after hours. And then today it looked pretty solid. So, CDT, let me tell you, it did get up to 12 cents and it looks really solid right there. So, oh man, what happened? Let me know if this thing just says that it looks like connection was lost for some crazy reason. Let me know if you can still hear it. So shoot me a message, somebody, and let me know if it's still on because it just came up and said connection was just lost. So pretty sure it looks like everything's good, but it just like popped up on there on the across the Twitter thing. So I don't see anybody posting anything that it's not working. So just let me know if you can hear me or if anything's not working. So if it's not, I know we're on CDT. And yeah, I've never seen that message. It just said connecting again. So not sure what that was about. But anyway, let me know if it's not working, and if it is, I'll continue right away. Just looking. Uh, all right. I was just looking. All right. So I don't see anybody wrote anything. So laptop travel or somebody just shoot me a text or let me know if everything's all right still. And yep. All right, cool. Thank you, Laptop Travel. Appreciate that. All right, I'll keep on cruising. I never saw that message. It just kept popping up across the top saying that it was trying to connect and it lost connection. So just wanted to make sure it was still working. CDT. All right, so this one looks really good for tomorrow, guys. And I didn't want it to lose connection on that. So I want to look at it. So let me get looking at this thing because it looks like it's ready to get cruising tomorrow up to that like 14 cents. Perfect. Appreciate it, Laptop Travel. And yeah, look at CDT in the morning. Like I said, it wants to pop off where it's at right here. Basically at that 11.1144, just call it 11 and a half cents. It wants to run off of that and get through that 13 cent area where the resistance of 50 is coming down, and it just wants to go. So this one, biotech company, could get cruising in the morning. You know, we've been watching it. It ran up the other day and it did run up over to 50, got up over the 15 cent area, maybe even a little higher, like I was saying. But I think it's has that potential tomorrow. So keep your eye on that CDT, and it's looking really decent right there. So let's cruise right through Peggy and see what that's doing. PEGY. And it's still in the basement, just kind of dragging itself down there. So I'll keep an eye. I watched it today and it wasn't doing anything. I just thought I'd throw it on. But this next one is looking decent. I'll tell you that. I know it was today. I was going through some lists, obviously, and looking at a bunch of scanners and seeing what was happening. And HRYU, this is one that we were looking at, a South Korea company. And this one's way down there, bouncing off the top. It's still pulling back. It looks like. I think today might have been its bottom right there on HRYU. So we're obviously going to keep an eye on it because it looks like it wants to start bouncing. And I brought it up because I think the early morning crew might have to look at this one to see if it is bouncing because it might be one of them plays in the morning that tries to cruise. So if it wants to bounce in the morning, you know it didn't have crazy volume today, but it could get moving. So HRYU, we looked at it a little while ago, and it looks like it's trying to do something down here. It's all the way down there and ready to try to bounce. We'll see if it's tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye on that. WTO, let me just mark that. But WTO down here is looking pretty decent as well. It was the 20s coming down real nice for it. It actually got through it today. It hasn't in a while. So that was a good sign. It jumped up a little bit over that 44 right. Yeah, it got over that 44 cent area. It got to like 49, right? What's this? Oh yeah, almost 50. Okay. 49.4938 and it opened at 41. And yeah, that 20 was right in like that 45 cent area. So it will definitely be trying to jump up there tomorrow. WTO, it's still trying to ride that basement and just trying to move its way up, and I think it's like I said, I it looks like it definitely wants to try to move up a little bit more tomorrow. And as it gets closer and builds that base at that 45, and it's at 43, even 44 in the after hours, like I said, it's right there. It wants to get there. So look at this thing as well to try to run. It has a lot of room in its in between it. It could move pretty good. So WTO, you're looking at that one as well. And EJH, I know I always do these and compare them, but they're not even comparable. But this thing, what was it doing today? EJH, I thought it was up. I was going to say it was up today. I didn't click on, I saw WTO up, but this one actually was up today. It bounced off, and now it's actually looking good. It was pulling back yesterday. I know I said that. And today it bounced up to the 20 and hit it. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one as well. It's another China one. So keep an eye on this bad boy and EJH because it's set up today. I like I was saying yesterday, it looked like it was pulling back and then all of a sudden, boom, it popped up there. So I would keep an eye on that as well. It grabbed my attention today, and like I said, I know I said it would look like it was pulling back yesterday. Um, Laptop Travel said today's pre-market was insane. A friend of his made over 100K today on these multiple bangers, and I will definitely be on at 4 a.m. very, very soon and appreciate that. So yeah, I was just still a little under the weather, but definitely feeling a little bit better than yesterday. So hopefully tomorrow I'm back to normal. My head's just been like all in a fog and just been obviously you could probably hear it in my throat too, so in my voice, I mean. So yeah, I'll definitely be on very soon to start trading with you guys, and we'll start now on these bad boys. And there's been some crazy ones, so clearly I want to get in on that action because we can definitely make some serious dough really fast early in the morning, locking some of these bad boys in. We almost know what's going to run. I mean, we can just make that early 4 a.m. list real quick each night and just run through it real fast. And then you obviously see which ones are popping up early in the morning. We take a look at them, boom, and just get rolling with them. So we'll try to start that. If not this week, we'll get it rolling for next week because I'll be feeling better for sure. And here we go. Let's look at Penn because that one I went over last night through. That one caught my attention as well and it's curling up. I would actually look at some options on this tomorrow. Let me mark this bad boy down because I like that pen. It's looking good. PENN. I was asking if what Portnoy still owns this thing. Didn't they like give it back to him or something for like $1? I forget. Um, something like that. If if I remember correctly. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. But this is looking pretty nice. It's setting up at like that $20 range and trying to pop, and it's at 1882 in the after hours. So I do like PENN. It is going to crawl through and get rolling there. So keep an eye on Penn for sure because it is looking good. VVPR, we looked at this well, we were looking at it for a little while. I tried to pop up the other day, and then today it just had that little pullback look but it almost looked like it was a little healthy pullback to me. That's why I popped it on the list again, just to take a look at it in the morning because if it's going to try to run, it'll probably have to be around tomorrow. I mean, that 20 is coming down for it. It's right there around 99 cents. And this jumped up to that 94. And yesterday it got in there, but then it just didn't want to do anything. So it has that weird look. Maybe it could stay weird for a day or so, but it's going to do something in the next few days. So VVPR. Just keep an eye on that one because, like I said, it's right there where it can do something. I just can't really tell. I was looking at it today, like, does it want to go up? Does it want to come back? The candles say back, but then it's weird. So I'll keep my eye on that one in the morning. I just marked it down and see what it wants to do. If it's saying that it wants to get bouncing, I'll post that one out because it could really run right there and get cruising off it at that $1 area and get up to like $1.50 real quick. So I will look at that one. VVPR WOLF. Let's look at Wolf Speed because we looked at this a few days ago and we're looking at it before, and this thing just took some Wolf Speed because it was up another $2.10 up to like 15.90 today. Let's look. Hold on. It was up to 1695, what I thought it opened at 1406, and it got up to 1695. I thought it was up higher than 15. So yeah, it was either in the after hours or pre-market, and it just got into the top. So watch this one tomorrow to try to be a momentum play in the morning because it looks like it wants to continue its way up there. It is a semiconductor company, Wolf, WOLF. So take a look at that one and see if it wants to continue its way up tomorrow. And it has a little bit of resistance there around like $22 is what it looks like. But yeah, it has some, I mean, it's way up there, but it's not, it's in the top, but not way at the top. And it just poked in there. So it wants to run into the top, is what it looks like. So, and then there's some hard support or resistance at $30. So, that's where you're going to be looking at like 22 and 30. And it could be cruising. It could have some more wolf speed in the morning. So WOLF, take a look at that one in the morning. And CNEY, CN Energy. This one looked great to me today. It was just pulling, it tried to get through the other day. What day was that? And that was Monday, October 14th. So yeah, that was what, Monday. It was trying to get through, and this thing keeps saying that. So if this thing drops out, someone laptop travel, just shoot me a message if it actually like drops out. It keeps saying that it looks like the connection dropped and it's trying to reconnect across the top of the screen. I have no idea why, but just let me know because it just keeps doing it and it doesn't seem to do anything. So it seems to be on. So if it does drop out, just shoot me a message. Anyway, here we go. CNEY. Keep an eye on it because it's trying to curl up. Let me see what it looked like in the after hours. I was looking at it today. It was right there, and I was about to post it, but it never really curled up. But I mean, it's sitting in the right spot. So I was like, we have to go over this bad boy. So watch CNEY. Oh man, it went silent, huh? Oh, see that? Hold on. Let me know if this thing comes back on because it like I said, it just keeps saying that the connection keeps getting lost. It's dropping in and out. Oh man, that does not. Hold on. Ready? I have an idea. Let me know if I'm gonna turn off. I just realized the Wi-Fi's on. I don't like when my Wi-Fi's on this thing. Let me turn that off real quick. So let's just do that and see if that makes it much better. That could have been the problem. I didn't realize I was probably trying to watch a perfect. You hear me now? Thank you, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate that. You know what it was? My Wi-Fi was on the phone. I have to sometimes hook up to the Wi-Fi. I keep it off because I have like unlimited. I'm like grandfathered into this crazy Verizon plan for like 20 something years now, where I've had unlimited everything. So I don't really worry about the minutes at all or any of it. And I just keep the thing on and I don't have it on the Wi-Fi because it's a pain because that happens. And so I must have been watching a sports game. I was watching a game last night. It was something was on. The hockey game was on, and it makes me turn on the Wi-Fi for certain channels, and it's so annoying. And if I forget, that'll happen. So thank you very much. That was probably the issue right there. My apologies, but thank you for letting me know. And if it does it again, just let me know. But it shouldn't now. It should be pretty good. So let's keep on cruising because we have a bunch to go through. And there's a ton of poppers, as you guys can see. But anyway, this CNEY, I'm telling you, this China company, this specialty company, chemicals China company looks really good. CN Energy Group looks like it's about to get some energy. So watch it. It's kind of pointing down, not exactly perfect, but it could just shoot up tomorrow with no problem. So I would keep an eye on that one as well and I will be watching that one in IXHL. This one was setting up the other day. We talked about it. It crossed through and it's looking really good right there. And it has a ton of space in its to run. So I think like 280s it can get to it, no problem. Let me look at it on here. IX IXHL. Well, I know I just typed that in wrong. IXHL. There we go. Yeah, it has a ton of room to run. So keep your eye on this thing because this thing was up over like $7, $8 back in February. It was up over $8 right there. and it has just continuously kind of gone down. It had one little hump up, but it looks like it's setting up to really run right now. IXHL. I wonder if they have something going on. Not that we were worrying about it, but keep an eye on that bad boy because that one's ready to get rolling for sure. VCIG, let's see. It was up a hair today, and I was trying to see if it wanted to get in the basement. It curled down. It's going there. It looks like it's trying to just base out right now and drag that bottom line. So let me just see how it opens up tomorrow and see what it wants to do. It could just try to bounce. So yeah, look at it in the morning. Obviously, if it's trying to bounce, it's making that hard curl up and it'll get moving. I'm not exactly sure it wants to. It might have to drag that line for a little bit as it pulls down to set up. But we'll keep our eye on VCIG and the 20's all the way up at 13 cents now because it pulled back so hard. It was right on there. I mean, it was perfect. So that's why it could bounce up because it was set up so well and then it dipped down. Could get right back up there from where it's at. So we'll keep our eye on that one in the morning, but it definitely pulled back more than I thought it would, especially where it was setting up at. And it is the 20's kind of curled down on it. So we'll have to pay attention to it. We'll get a better look and let us know what it wants to do. How about WBA, that Walgreens? This one ran up into the top, but it looks like it's going to be a momentum play in the morning. That's why I threw it on here for you guys. So look at WBA because Walgreens looks like it's going to be a momentum play. And we were talking about, remember I said they might, it didn't look good for the company, but they needed that pop. Well, they definitely got it. I know exactly where it was. It was down here in the 890 area, and right now it's in the 11s when I said that. So it popped up the last 2 days. They had the earnings, what, the 15th yesterday. I guess they were decent. Remember, I was saying they need some good earnings. And honestly, I don't really think it's really that great for the company. Um, I know they were closing some stores. Remember, we went through it yesterday. They plan to close nearly 1,200 stores, and it's going to run up here into the top, probably be a momentum play tomorrow, and you're probably going to see it come down. So I'll keep an eye on it, but again, I threw it on there for the morning, folks, because I think it could be a good momentum play for you as it's getting into that top. And we looked at it the last, like right before it ran up before its earnings. So that is WBA, the Walgreens, and we'll see. I'll keep an eye on the company just because I'm curious if the chart, if they want to go out of business, because that'll be crazy. Because Rite Aid looks terrible as well. I forget what they're at, but. They're pretty much toast. I don't even know if they are around anymore, are they? I forget if they even went bankrupt. Didn't they? I don't even remember. But yeah, they look bad. I forget what CVS, weren't they? They just ran up, I think, CVS. I'll look at it real quick. Yeah, CVS just was at the top and it's coming back down. And CVS is the only like pharmacy that actually looks decent. The other ones don't look very good, like Walgreens and I don't know how many more are. Rite Aid basically went under, and I don't know what else there is. So there you go. I guess CVS is the only one that's going to be left because they can't all compete. I have no idea. Uh, yeah, I mean, them stores, them pharmacy stores are big, pretty big locations, and you're talking about the price of real estate right now and their rent, and it's kind of insane. I mean, I don't know that they sell that much product that they really put out there, all that space to be able to maintain a store. It's mainly the pharmacy, and then people stop in and buy a few things. So, as from what I see anyway, I mean, people aren't shopping there. So that's why, and CVS tends to be the busier one around me, to be honest with you. So there you go. That's that, and that's the pharmacy breakdown. So BURU, Nubaru, that one was just kind of pulling back. It ran up today. It did run up a dollar. I remember this was up. Hold on, let me see what it was at because it was up a little bit today. It opened at 71. It got up to 153, right? Yeah. And its low is 65 and it's at 70 right now. So Nubaru did run around. And remember what I told you guys? It wanted to get higher than that 148. Well, today it got to 153. So there you go. And it hit that spot. So I it was pulling back, and then yesterday I said I gotta stick to it because I kind of feel like it's gonna do it. I think it's kind of done now, to be honest, but it did it. It finally did it. I'll watch it tomorrow to see if it won. Could come down and really roll off and really get crazy as the 20 and 50 come and meet. So I'll keep an eye on it. But it absolutely did exactly what it looked like it was gonna do. And yeah, it ran up over that 148 on October 10th. I said it the other day and I stuck to my guns with it, and it got up to that one, like I said, 160, 153. Finviz says 160. I saw it at 150, and I knew it was over that price because I knew it was like 147, 148. And I knew if it hit 150, it had gotten over that spot. Just remember saying it, and there you go. So pretty decent call right there. But again, you have to be able to trade that pretty fast because it's back down to 71 cents. So unless you have that set and at 150 or 160, I mean, it's again, you can call all these you want, but you have to be able to trade them smart. And that's why I say pick the ones you like because this was a nice one. And if you were watching it, it was easy. But I picked the ones I like and I watch them hard. I watch a ton of them, obviously, but I couldn't possibly trade all these like that, like this popping up like this. Yeah, I was pretty confident it was going to do it. But again, I would have had to set the sell at like 150. It got to 170. I mean, it would have been fine, but it would have been, a nice risk, and it is what it is. So you can't trade them all. You can call them all and guide people because everyone's looking at different things. Clearly, that's why we look at a ton of them. But yeah, there you go. Did exactly what we were saying it was going to do. CERO. Let's look at it. And like I said, I'll look at Nubaru, BURU, and see if it can get that pop up again tomorrow or get some momentum or if it wants to meet up soon. CERO is setting up, and I don't think it's done yet. I think it was just a little healthy pullback. Another one where you're 20 and 50 want to start meeting up there. And I guess that's what it's waiting for because it should start moving. It looks like it wants to. Maybe it's going to just roll off right now and start cruising. So another one I'll keep an eye on in the morning and we'll see if it wants to start to try to make that roll off and start moving up higher. LGHL, this one did run up to the 20. It got up to what, 21 and a half. Didn't it run up a little higher? Let me look. LG8, 22 cents, right around there. And what did it do? It just ran up a little bit, but it hit that 20 and just like kind of broke it. But what it was interesting was it's curling up nice and hard on that MACD. And if it gets through that and actually can sit at that 21 cents, it'll get through the 23-cent area and really pop, and it can do it tomorrow. So keep an eye on it. If it gets crossed through and it gets, like I said, if it can get up over where it was today, its high was basically 21 and a half. It gets right there again tomorrow morning. The thing's going to try to take off and run like that lion. I said it yesterday. I wanted to run like a lion. What did it close at? 20 cents, and then it opened at 20 and ran up to 21 and a half. So I mean it moved a little bit, but nothing too crazy, but it did get running. I thought it was going to try to pop through that 20 right there, and it possibly can tomorrow. So keep an eye on that LGHL and see if it wants to SURG. Let's see if that surge wants to pay right now because I'm telling you, this thing's going to roll off and get pretty wild right here. Said it yesterday, and here's the setup for it. So keep your eye on SURG for tomorrow because that one's setting up as well. It's looking decent. It opened around 180, got up to 192, and that's where it's at in the after hours, and it's looking pretty nice right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. MLGO, let's see that bad boy pulling back just a hair, but nothing terror. I think this is just setting up for another round to try to run. I mean, it never really got popping. It never got over to 50. Let's put it that way. I think a lot of these now are trying to meet the 50 and 20, and it could be like a week or two away, and they could be all popping off like maniacs again. So MLGO appears like it wants to do that. I'll keep an eye on that tomorrow as well. It wasn't doing a whole lot today. Obviously, I'm just looking at the chart and saying it's just had like more pullback than anything, but it wasn't even anything crazy. So I'll keep an eye if that one wants to get set up again and get running. BE, that Bloom Energy, Telling you, this thing's trying to set up here. Just a little healthy pullback today as it's setting up, and BE just find that bottom price here, and I'll tell you, the bottom probably was 1004-ish, right around there. I don't know if it got any lower than that, and that was the other day. Yeah, it's probably gonna. Oh, did I see a nine? A nine back in October 2nd. So I mean, it's at 1050. It's right there. It's hitting that line right there, and it's setting up to be pretty bullish. So I would expect it to try to roll off and try to start moving really soon. And that's BE Bloom Energy. And let's look at all these bad boys. I'll go through the short list. I just made this list before we got on for the most part. MTEM. Molecular templates. I think this was on Laptop Travels list just the other day. And the laptop lowdowns, I'm almost positive. And it is way down there. And it is looking really, really good now. I had 14 million in volume today. It's in the basement, just pulling back there. And it is looking interesting. So watch it. That's all I can say. What did it do? It opened that. Did it pop in the after hours here? It must have, I bet. Hold on, because this isn't even showing it, but it must have. And I had it on the list. I didn't even know. But did this thing just pop in the after hours? Let me look on Web Bull. Hold on, real quick, and just see yeah, because I was gonna say watch this thing in the yeah, god damn it. I was gonna tell you is watch this thing in the morning because this is gonna be 100% runner, and it already did it, and I had no idea. It ran up over 100% in the after hours. There you go. There was the setup for it, and I didn't even see it do it in the after hours, to be honest with you. I was all excited about it, but yeah, it definitely ran up like a maniac in that after hours. What it get it and it opened at 34 today. That's not where it was though. It had closed around like 32.50, and then it just got blasted off to a dollar 10, and it's sitting at 71. So I didn't even see it in the after hours. I completely missed that, but there you go. That one already popped off, and I was gonna tell you guys watch that to be 100%er, and boom, it's up 108%. It says so. Go figure. And yeah, I was loving it. I thought that one was great, and that's why it was sitting these ones on that list right here, and that was at the top for a reason on that list. So go figure, MTEM. But yeah, laptop travel, I'm pretty sure you had that on the list the other day, and it was just perfect right there. I just knew it was blasting off, and we missed it because we didn't catch it in the after hours. My apologies. I actually didn't even I saw that one earlier and jotted it down and didn't notice that it ran in the after hours. So there you go with MTEM, but we'll find the next one for sure. You know that. WBD. Oh, this one looks great too. Warner Brothers. It did run up today, but it's going to cross through and get moving again. So Warner Brothers is looking good. The 20 was coming down. We're just going to make sure it crawls through and gets moving tomorrow, but it is setting up to be pretty bullish right there. And it looks like that bottom was going to be October 14th at 735, was it? Yeah, 735. It's at like 801 right now. So keep an eye on WBD, and that is Warner Brothers because that's looking really nice. LUXH, that's one we are looking at. It was up like 1.5% today, but it's starting to make a kind of pretty decent little fish hook right there. It's not a huge hook, but it is trying to move up and try to hook up there. So keep an eye on that LUXH. That's at Lux Urban Hotels and see because the way it's hooking up there, it's like trying to make kind of a harder turn up there, and it could really get cruising. So the 20 was coming down at 7, and this is at like 6 cents. So you're not far off right there. And that 20 and 10, 20 and 50 are meeting, and that's a good look right now. So let's keep an eye on that LUXH because that one's looking pretty nice as well. So keep your eye on some of these bad boys right here. SABS. Let's look at that one. I don't even remember why I wrote this one down, but it's up 69 cents. And it looks like it was already moving somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Was this moving in the after hours? I'm not even sure, but it is moving a little bit. It looked good today. I know I jotted it down earlier, and I didn't look at it while I was making the list. So I'm not sure when it ran up, but it definitely looks good. It opened at 243. Its high was 321. It says it's at 311. It might be a momentum play tomorrow, guys. So maybe that's why I jotted it down for a momentum play because it looks like it wants to keep cruising right there. It got through that 308 area. It's at 311 and now it gets through to 325. It's getting cruising. So keep an eye on that SABS in the morning for a little momentum play because it did run up today. Not sure if it was in the after hours or market, but I probably jotted it down as a momentum play. I honestly don't remember, but I looked at it today and thought it looked decent. BREA. This one looks pretty nice as well. It is starting to make that curl up and look really nice. The 20 and 50 are going to meet up. Does this one ran up in the after hours too? Are you kidding me right now? I'm telling you, I made most of this list before the after hours, that's for sure. This one ran over 100% in the after hours. That's hilarious right there. Holy cow. I'm not even kidding. I have to bring it up on mine. I just noticed it on the FinViz. It definitely wasn't up that high when I was looking at it. Where'd it get to? 278. Yeah, it definitely wasn't there when I saw it. Holy shit. I should have bought this when I was looking at it. Damn. It opened at 66 cents. You know, when I was looking at it, I could tell you exactly where I know where it was. It was at 69 and a half when I saw it. And it closed at 69 and a half. I saw it right around, I guess, where it was closing. But before that, and then I didn't see it in the after hours. I just jotted it down, was like, man, this one's about to start popping off. And bam, there you go, 135%. So, god damn, there's two of them already that popped off. Um, that's so crazy. Over 100% that I looked at today. Imagine you bought both of them bad boys. And I was excited about MTEM because I was like, that one's going to run tomorrow. I just watch it in the morning. It's going to be a big popper. And this one was looking good as well. Well, let's keep going through this list here. MLEC. But I kind of fine-tuned a little couple things real quick on my scanner today as I was messing around with stuff, not feeling well. And I think I tapped into something, huh? Because this is pretty wild. I can't believe two of them ran over 100% in the after hours. And I'm telling you, they definitely weren't up like that when I looked at them. I promise you. MLEC, that's another one that was on the laptop down and the laptop lowdown list and it was setting up and it's looking pretty good. It ran up today a little bit, opened at 88. Its high was like 97. Let me see if it did anything crazy in the after hours. Um, ran up to 116 maybe in the after hours. It looks like it kind of had that weird look like it was trying to run up there. So maybe it did run up to 116. I'll have to look at this in the morning, but it opened at 99. Let me make sure. Because this is the same dates. Looks like two different charts to me. Hold on. MLEC. And that says today's date. Opened at 99, 116, and low 78. And this says it opened at 88 and its high was 97 as low. So at least they're consistent on the low. But I'm not sure what it did, but it looked good today. So I'm not sure if it ran up or what it did. But when I was looking at it earlier, it did look nice. So we'll continue to look at it because it still looks like it could run here. MLEC. Let me look at FIRX. It was up 3 cents and it didn't pop up yet. So here, oh yeah, this one's looking really good too. IFRX. This is a biotech company in Germany. Let's keep our eye on this bad boy in the morning, guys, because this one looks like it opened at 148, got to 156. It's it doesn't look like it went crazy yet in the after hours, so that's good. And yeah, keep an eye on IFRX in the morning, guys, because that one looks really good to try to pop off and it could get moving. So that one, keep an eye on. I think I like the spot that I found on the scanner right here. CHRO. Let's look at this bad boy if I can type it in right, because this is crazy. CHRO chromocell. This might have been on one of the lists too. This was up today, but this one actually did look good. Um, as it looked like it was going to keep momentum. It did run up some in the after hours, like another 10%. I remember this was up, but it looked like it wanted to continue its way up. CHRO. And this might have been one on the laptop lowdown list about a week ago, CHRO. So keep an eye on this one as well as a momentum play. But I remember seeing this was hitting the 20 right there and getting yeah, or popping off the 20 there and moving up. So this one was up today, 16 cents or more, and another like 8 cents in the after hours, but looks pretty solid to continue tomorrow. So watch that one in the morning for momentum. Didn't get into the top, so a lot of these are rolling in there. So this one has that potential. So keep an eye on that. LAC, that Lithium Americas Corp, this one just rolling. So I know we looked at this one. It was way down in the lower twos, and it got up to what, 342. It might have got up higher than that. Let me see. LAC 379 and it's at 368. I thought it closed pretty strong. This says 358. Yeah, it closed pretty strong. I know that. And there you go. In the after hours, it was looking strong. So it's up to 368 is where it finally ended. And it looks pretty good. It could continue its way up tomorrow into that top right there. And that's LAC, the Lithium Americas Corp. And remember, we were looking at that when it was way down there. So that's a nice popper right there. UPC, we were just looking at this bad boy, and this was up like 4 cents, but it ran up today. It ran up to over $1. Let me tell you what it did today because we were just looking at it. And it opened at 44, it got to $1, and its low is 31, and now it's at 48. So it did close a little higher than it opened, but not exactly sure what it's going to do tomorrow after that big run. And Universe Pharmaceuticals, we just looked at another China company. So these things are hot right now. And I'm telling you, we just went over like all of these bad boys. We've recently just hit them all. I'm telling you, I was going through the lists and they're just all recent ones. And I was just going through and looking at the setups like that one, and I was going through the scanners, and that's where I found the that IFRX and the BREA. They were on there. Even the MTEM was on the scanner, but I know that Laptop Travel had that on his list because I saw it on there. And yeah, we have a ton of them. I'm telling you, it's crazy right now. So let's keep going. Pfizer's looking great. PFE. That's looking good to set up for a big capper. It's rolling off the MACD and it wants to run up to at least that 30. I think it's at like 29.72. I think it wants to get over that 30 right now. So watch it. And if it can get over that 30, it's going to have a nice little pop off. Their earnings are coming up. Was it how? Oh, no, this was on the 29th. So we didn't look at that. Pfizer's earnings are on the 29th, so they're coming up. So maybe it just bounces around and stops at that $30 spot, but it looks pretty strong to try to run really soon, Pfizer. So keep an eye on Pfizer as well. PFE, HSDT, Helios Medical. This was also up today, but it was bouncing out of the bottom and trying to curl through there real hard. Oh, excuse me. And then it ran up even more in the after hours there, like 23 more percent, 13 cents. Honestly, though, could keep running up to 59. Yeah, it's over 68. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, it's up to the 50 right now. This one might just blast off in the morning too. HSDT. I'm kind of really liking this spot on the scanner I just witnessed. I figured out. I was just like I said, tweaking a few things here and messing around with some stuff, and boom, these guys are just going nuts. So HSDT, this one's popping, but we'll get them right before they start taking off. So I'll have to tweak it and see what the hell's going on here, because this is another one that's running. And again, look at it to keep on cruising in the morning for a momentum play. HSDT. So take a look at that. BJDX, we were looking at the Blue Jay. Let's see what it did. It looked like it was trying to set up today. It did run up a little bit. Let me take a look at it. It opened at 11. It got to 13 as low as 10, and it actually closed at 10. So it came back down. Let me see what it wants to do. It's pulling back right there. Where's that 10? Way down there, but it says it got down to 9.5 is what it says here. And maybe that's its bottom right there. I don't know. That's a weird look for it. I'm gonna have to look at the Blue Jay tomorrow. I know it was just trying to run today and set up, but pulling back, but off that line. I'll keep an eye on the Blue Jay BJDX and then QS. think someone asked me to look at these three. So I just added these from StockTwits. So let's look at QS because that one looks great actually. Um, Quantum Scape is setting up right there. The 20's coming down at 560s. It's at 554 in the after hours. And it looks like it wants to break through that MACD tomorrow and get to that 20. Let me look at QS here. Yeah, it's looking really healthy right there. So keep an eye on that QS. That's looking good right there. And TPTS, let's look at that bad boy. TPTS. Let me see if that's a hold on, let me see if that's a OTC or something. I don't even see that coming up anywhere. So maybe we'll skip TPTS. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to find out. I'm not sure I even posted that one. I'll go back and look. And CMND, isn't that lemonade or something? No, Clear Mind Medicine. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. CMND, Clear Mind Medicine. I know we looked at this one before, or I have. I don't remember, but it's coming down. It ran up into the top and it's pulling back to that 20. Maybe it tries to have a pop again tomorrow. Let me try to look because some of these bad boys have been trying to do that, like run up, come back, and pop back up there. So let me just take a look. I don't know. I think that one might be coming back there, CMND. So Clear Mind Medicine may be pulling back. And let's just keep on rolling through and see what else we're looking at here. Boom, let's see. LMND. Let's look at LMND real quick. That's lemonade. That's the one I was thinking of actually. And someone just posted it. Who just posted that thing? LMND. Mr. Street. He just posted it like 6 minutes ago and has a bunch of people tagged. And that's literally the one I was thinking of was lemon. Didn't I say lemonade? And I was looking at CMND. Well, the letters are pretty close. This is LMND. So that's what kind of had me thinking that. But lemonade, I kind of noticed when I'm familiar with it, it is running up. I actually saw it, so it's been running up there, and it still looks pretty good to continue its way up. It opened at 1880, and it's up to 1954. That's so weird that he just posted that. Lemonade, the actual stock ticker, like 6 minutes ago, and I said that. I didn't even see that. Holy cow, a lot of weird stuff going on tonight. LMND, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, let's see. I think Lemonade's trying to go up into the top, so you might want to watch this as a little momentum play. I'll go from CMND to LMND, but I mean it is up at the top, so it has to make sure it gets up in the top and it'll run up there. So that is LMND, and we did TNXP already, and that one does look great. So I won't even look at that one. Um, Semiconductor sector hinges on TSM earnings tomorrow morning during the pre-market. Luis Rodriguez says, let's see what TSM is doing then. That one's important, huh? That Taiwan semi. I actually saw this on the scanner. So let's break it down right now. It opened at 189. It got to 190. Its low is 186 and it closed at 187.48 is what it says here. I'm just going to pull it up on mine just to make sure. Yeah, they're pretty close right there, 189.10. So we're right in the ballpark. I'll tell you what though, thing is setting up super bullish. Um, what I think is going to happen right here is, let me look. Hold on, where do we even go? All right, what I think might happen right here on TSM, and I'm going to look at all three charts real quick because it's pulling back to the MACD, but it's setting up super bullish, and it can pull back to that 183. It did run up in the after hours to 189, and these ones might even be moving right now if I'm not mistaking laptop travel because I know they start kind of around this time, maybe 11 p.m. But let me just take a look at TSM on mine. Yeah, I think it rolls off that MACD on here and tries to get cruising up tomorrow is what it looks like to me. And it is setting up to be bullish. So 189 is right around there on that line, gets that momentum. It's popping up higher than it was at 193, 194 the other day, 194.25. Gets up over that. You're good. I'm just playing it out in my head. Just give me 1 second while I just look at this chart play out to see how it's going to roll. So yeah, it's going to get right there. I think it goes up. I think it tries to crawl off that MACD and tries to get moving. So TSM, I kind of see it trying to roll up and go up. So we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. Let me look at it on stock charts real quick, just to get a third look real fast. It's an important one. Um, so here we go. Let me see. Yeah, I think it rolls off of there, guys. And then it's gonna run up, and then that's when it's gonna have some pullback after that next run up. So that's what TSM looks like to me. And so there you go. Um, so there you go, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll see what the semi. Let's go through some of the semiconductor ones as well, since that's a they have been a big deal since that ASMC, and we're actually on that one now. So there you go, ASMC. That would have been the next one that we were looking at. How or whatever ASML, not AMSL. ASML, not that's not a C, that's an L, and I know that. So ASML. That is a semiconductor equipment one. That's why everything started to move down, I believe, because they decided to post their earnings on their website a little early, and then everything decided to crash. And this did come down. It didn't make that bounce, but it's fighting to stay out of that basement. I'm not gonna lie. Thing is just sitting on that basement line there, and I mean on hard looks like that to fight itself to stay up means it kind of wants to bounce. Now let me just look what it did in the after hours on ASML and see what that is looking like. I mean, yeah, it's so far. It has that bounce look, so I'm sticking with it that it wants to try to bounce off of here. I don't think it wants to get in the basement. And again, if we're gonna gear everything off of TSM's earnings tomorrow, I didn't even look to see if that what that even said about it. TSM. I know you said it's in the pre-market. Yep, the 17th right there. And let's see. TSMC set to report strong profit driven by AI boom, and that was at 6:20. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. That was the news that was at 6:02 p.m. I just happened to scroll down real quick, so and has a bunch of like tons of news today. Well, good couple stories, but yeah, it does look good to bounce. And if we're gonna gear it off of that ASML, I would look for the bounce on that as well. So keep an eye on that. And let's look at a couple semiconductors real quick. There's not that many. Let me just break them open real quick. There's 4 pages, but I'll go through some of the US ones. There's a bunch that I don't even know if I ever broke these open before, like went through this before. Maybe I have. AMD, we'll look at that. What's ALGM? Give me 2 minutes. Not even. I'll just roll through some of these and we'll just kind of look at some. Let me go through the next page and see. You want to look at a Taiwan LEDS? We'll look at MOBX. Is there any ones that anyone has in particular you want to look at? Let me know, and I'll look at them real quick while we're banging through some of these guys. We'll look at TSEM. It's an Israeli one. Um, SIMO looks like a Hong Kong one. POET. So we'll look at that. We can just knock out Qualcomm right now. And let me hit the last page and bring up a couple more. That Wolf Speed looks already good. And we'll look at VLN and we'll look at WISA because that was on there. So there you go. Anyone else have any other ones that you just want to look at real quick? Let me know and we'll go through the semiconductors really fast and check them out because XOXL, perfect. I'll look at it after ADI right here. There you go. That's the ETF too, I believe. So perfect. Here we go. Semiconductor time, guys. Here we go. ADI analog devices coming back down. That one looks like it's dipping. It almost looks like it wants to try to bounce tomorrow though. Let me look at that. Oh man. Yep, here it is. ADI, hold on. Let me try to remember. Just pull back. Has that look where it can pull itself up right there and could possibly run. So ADI, interesting. SOXL, that is the semiconductor bull 3 times share. Now let's see, because it has that flat look today. It did dip yesterday, obviously, and just kind of went flat as it's hitting that line pretty hard. Let me bring it up on mine. SOXL. And It's hitting the line where it looks like it wants to roll off. I mean, I could see it rolling off of there with no problem. I'm just going to take a quick peek on the old stock charts as well, and flat and hitting that line. I could see it rolling off of there. Let's just keep rolling through a few of these and see what they look like. So that is the ETF though. And again, it's just like stuck there to 50, and the 20 is trying to go up. It's not curling down on it. That's the look that I'm looking at. And I'm looking at a couple things, but one of the things I'm trying to see is if it wants to push it down. It came down hard on that line, but we've seen them do some pretty amazing things here. So, and bounce with no problem. AMD, and now they all have that similar came down, this cross down, coming down. This one could actually dip down to like that 152 area. So AMD could dip down a little bit more, but another one setting up super bullish in like a couple weeks. So we'll keep an eye on that. AMD, ALGM, Allegro Microsystems. And this, oh man, this one's setting up. This one's gonna probably try to bounce off tomorrow. Setting up super bullish right there. Their earnings that are on Halloween. ALGM, let's write that down. Take a look at that bad boy in the morning. That looks like it's gonna be good. I mean, everything's meeting together, and it looks like it wants to curl up right there. So that's ALGM. So we're gonna watch that one. Looks good. GCTS, GCT Semiconductor Holding. This one's pulling back there like many other ones and coming down. This one looks like it might actually pull back and try to bounce later. So we'll watch that. HIMAX. They don't all have the same look, so that's a good thing, I would say. I think honestly right now. So at least they don't all have the same look. This one was at the top trying to pull back here, and it looks like it's just gonna have some pullback, but then try to go right back up. HIMX, and that's Himax Technologies. That's a Taiwan one. LEDS is another. I just happened to hit two Taiwan while I was going random and looked at. I just tried to get two random other country ones, but I got a few more. That's fine. LEDS, LEDs. I know we looked at this not long ago, and it just has that flat kind of pullback look, but it's sitting on the 20 where it could go either way real quick. Let me look at LEDS on mine. Yeah, LEDS looks like it could definitely get bouncing. So that doesn't look bad. MOBX, that's a USA one. And that pulled back into the basement, but right at the line. That one, I could see that trying to bounce right out of the basement hardcore and get running tomorrow. Might want to watch this one tomorrow too, OMBX. And I know we've watched that one before. Not even sure I knew it was a semiconductor company, but MOBX could easily have a bounce tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye on it and early morning watch it. MRVL, Marvel Technology. This one looks like it wants to run into the top tomorrow and get booming. So MRVL, this could be a momentum play in the morning. MRVL, that one looks pretty solid. So they're all kind of mixed up. So it's not telling us. NVEC looking really good tomorrow. Whoa. This one should roll. And if you want one that's probably going to run tomorrow, NVEC is looking pretty healthy right there. So take a look at NVEC because that one looks good. And that's a semiconductor, obviously. How about TSEM, Tower Semiconductor Ltd? That's an Israeli one. That one's pulling back. I would say, I mean, setting up super bullish, but I think it has a little bit of pullback. Maybe today was its bottom and it tries to bounce back off. Um, I could see it trying to pull itself up. Let me see. TSEM. Yeah, it's at that look where it could actually pull itself, but we'll watch that one. That's an Israeli one. SIMO, Silicon Motion Technology Corp. This is a Hong Kong one. And this one looks like it's pulling back too, and it wants to come back down. This one has earnings in a few on the 30th on Mischief Night, but this one looks like it's dipping. This Hong Kong one, SIMO at the moment. POET, that's up 51 cents. And this one looks pretty solid, down a little bit in the after hours. And it's just kind of flat. Looks like it wants to it was moving today. It looks like it wants to pop off of that 413 area. It's It's basically a 409. Let me look at it on mine real quick, get a better idea because POET wants to be a poet and run. I think Poet wants to go. It's at 417, it says. And that's in a good spot right there. So POET is looking pretty solid right there. That's a Canadian one. Keep an eye on that. And here's Qualcomm QCOM. It looked great the other day. Obviously had some pullback the last 2 days with that stuff, and it looks like it's uber set up to get bouncing again. So I would say QCOM wants to rock and roll some more and start moving again. So that looks like it wants to bounce. VLN, Valence Semiconductor. And this one took a nice dip and is in a nice spot to bounce. Oh, this one looks healthy. Keep your eye on VLN. VLN. That one looks really good to try to bounce. It's setting up really nice. If it doesn't bounce tomorrow, it's one to keep our eye on to try to set up and run. And WISA, we looked at it yesterday. It did run up a little bit today. It opened at 190 and got up to what, 198? And or it opened at 177, 206, whatever chart is accurate. I don't know. They all say something different anymore. It's just bizarre. But anyway, I knew it ran up today. We looked at it yesterday. And the question is, if it wants to run up tomorrow, has that strange look like it can do anything. So I guess it is waiting for that one to figure out what its earnings are in pre-market. But I would say overall, I think the semiconductors can move, and that will bump the market up, obviously. And obviously, the one that we didn't look at that we should look at right now is, of course, NVIDIA. So let's look at that. And it's going to roll up tomorrow and bounce. So, not even a question. NVIDIA is going up tomorrow. And I'll even look at NVD to, well, let me type that in right. NVD. All right. And NVD is going down tomorrow. It should not a question go down, and the video without a question should go up. So, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Let's say that nothing's guaranteed here, but that looks pretty damn solid for NVIDIA to go up. So, I would say that is what we're looking at with semiconductor land there, Luis Rodriguez. How was that to answer your question? I hope that was pretty in depth for you. No, I'm just kidding, but appreciate you looking out and saying TSM's earnings were tomorrow, and it was important, and it just kind of triggered that whole entire little section right there. We just kind of rolled through all the semiconductors, and like I said, we're looking pretty solid, and the video is looking good to go. So there we are with that. So here we go. Let's continue on and see what else is happening here. We did ASML, and let's just run through a bunch of these. And like I said, I I I have to look and see at the picture that I even did I post. Yeah, I had these guys on that MTEM and WBD. I think they were on the list when I posted it out. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I had just kind of, like I said, wrote them down throughout the day, and just on a piece of paper and added them at the end because I almost forgot. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was jotting these bad boys down throughout the day. Let's look at these tonight. And two of them already ran for well over 100% right in the after hours. So they were clearly from, I know where they were on the scanner. So I will be looking there again. You know that because that was crazy. I'm pretty impressed to be honest with you. So I will definitely be tearing that's part of the scanner apart and try to grab these just like a day or so early or even a couple hours early because that's all you need. And we can rip through 100%ers as they're popping in the after hours. So that'll be really nice. So let's roll through and see what DTSS was doing. I think we were looking to see if it was going to bounce yesterday, and it just kind of went down and it did cross through. Maybe that's going to pull back. It still could bounce, but it did cross through, building a base down there. I'm not exactly sure. I'll look at it. And I know I marked it to see if I was interested, if it was going to have a bounce. OPRA, this one was setting up pretty nice, came back down, and it looks like it tried to get through that MACD and just got crushed off of it. Maybe tomorrow it looks a little bit better. It didn't like fall apart completely, but it definitely hit that MACD and bounced down. So it could pick itself right back up the 20s underneath of it and wants to. So we'll look at Opera LTD tomorrow, OPRA, and see if it just looks a little bit better right there. NDRA, let's look at Endura Life. That was up 0.5%. Still not out of the basement, but looking so much better. I would take a look at this tomorrow, guys. I think I was probably saying yesterday. I know I had a couple asterisks around it to see if it was moving. It did move a little bit today. I know it was up just a hair, not a whole lot, but it opened at 21, got up to like 22, and it was just trying to get moving, but it did. It got in the right spot and looks good. I think this one could be a nice popper right here. So NDRA, keep your eyes on that. And your 50s all the way at like 70 cents. This could be a cruiser right there for NDRA. So we're on watch on that. AUD, we're checking that out. It was up 4 cents. It was looking good to bounce and boom there. I'm telling you, AUD is getting there too. I would keep my eye on that bad boy to see you try to run hard because that one's right there, and it looked like it wanted to bounce off yesterday. I wrote that it wanted look for the bounce, and there you go. AUST, I think, came down today. Yeah, down 4 cents. It actually was down way more, I think. Yeah, its high was 172, got down to 156. Does look like it's trying to pull back at the same time, but build a base, and it has a nice support at 150, and the 20's coming up to it at 130. So AUST Austin Gold. And I told you guys about this one before it started running right under $1, and it's up to $1.60. It ran over 201 the other day, and this one's just kind of pulling back, but I have a feeling it's going to build a base and get moving. We'll have to look at the gold ones maybe tomorrow because I wrote down a bunch of the cannabis ones, and we already have a big old list today and a ton of poppers. So we'll roll through the gold ones as well. We'll do that tomorrow. UCAR, I told you wanted to start driving. Ran up to like 732. They didn't get higher than that. Let me see. No, 732. I'm lying. It did get to 37 or 732, but I'm telling you, this thing looks like it wants to get cruising as well. And we were saying this yesterday, so it did get moving, and it looks like it wants to roll some more. And that is UCAR. EZGO is the other recreational China company, and it was pulling back a hair. We were saying just wait for it to set up, and it is. It's going to get down here right around that 105 area. It got to 106 today and let it pull back a little bit more. I think tomorrow possibly, or tomorrow's like a little dip and rip it situation because it's setting up, and the 50 and 20 want to meet each other, and they seem to want to just pop. So keep an eye on this EZGO and see if it actually wants to start to go tomorrow. We knew it was pulling back today. It did, and possibly have that little pop off tomorrow for EZGO. So we will look for that one. And we will look at our buddy Holo, HOLO. It was down 44 cents. And let's see, it was looking pretty decent and it looked like it wanted to go up. It might not be done, honestly. Just a little pullback today, nothing crazy. Let's see, HOLO. It did recently split, obviously. Just a little pullback, doesn't look terrible. So keep an eye on Holo. We'll look at it. We always do. And we'll see if it can try to get that momentum back and try to move up again. So I'll keep an eye on that one tomorrow. And let's look at our yin and our yang. Because I know the yin was up a little bit today, and I don't think it was doing anything, to be honest with you. It was just a parachute it so that the whole China market doesn't completely collapse and they go into like a meltdown. Because that's what it looks like it wants to do. And it very well could happen if they just let that thing keep going down today. So better off they parachute it down. Probably a good idea for the Chinese people and the China markets, I was trying to say. Probably way better for that because it could get ugly if that thing just drops hard. You can just see it. And the Yang just pulled back a hair. It down like 19 cents. Honestly, it just looked like a little healthy pullback. And again, just kind of needed to do it. The 20's coming down at 417. It's sitting at 469, it says in the after hours. But it looks like it should try to cruise back up tomorrow. Like I said, it looked like they were just trying to parachute that yin down. and just make sure it didn't get down. Because if they didn't today, it was coming down to that 28, and that might have been a whole. I mean, you would have came down to the bottom. You would have ran that thing in the top for too long and right to the bottom that fast. That's like panic, like major panic set off. So I see why they didn't do it. Probably should have picked up on it yesterday, to be honest with you, but just wasn't really looking at it. But yeah, that would have been setting off major panic mode if they would have did that. And maybe it'll just creep that bad boy down a little bit more as it gets down to that 28, just so they don't really create panic because I'm telling you, that thing that the way they move that fast, and I mean when the yin goes up, it's all gravy. I mean, everybody's excited because, that's your bull and everybody's making. But when it reverses hardcore like that, you're in a shitload of trouble because now you're a hardcore bear and the bears are just boom, you're getting crushed and your economy's getting crushed, obviously, if that's what happens. So just a quick overview of what it looks like. And I strongly feel that yin's going to come back down and that yang's going to continue back up. So there's your yin and your yang report for this evening. And let's keep on going here. SYRS. Let's see what that was up to because that's that crazy company. And I know it was dipping today and I didn't know why. And it did. Came down 8 cents. I have no idea what's up with it. And now it looks like the 20 is trying to push it down. Thing looked crazy yesterday in that spot. And now trying to pull back a little bit. Let's see if it's like that little dip and rip because it didn't cross down or anything like through the MACD. Just for some reason dipped down out of nowhere. So let's look at it. Kind of dipped down not long ago, that SYRS, but not this low either. So we're going to keep an eye on it. And again, it's just right over that MACD. I think it might be a dip and rip situation as it's setting up. So keeping an eye on that SYRS for that really low price there and see if it really wants to get cruising. Like I said, that thing was crazy. It did run up the one time and it looked pretty good yesterday. It had that weird look, but today it pulled back and it could be that setup for a dip and rip. So I'll be watching that one as well. And then we do VCIG. And if we didn't, we'll do it again. It's just in that bottom right there. And yeah, I was saying watch and see if it can bounce off the bottom. It's right there. I know I did. And let's go to ALBT. That's at Globo something, ALBT something. Hold on. Let me, what is it called? Avalon Globo Care. That's it. And let's look at this bad boy because again, it's just running down there, looking very, very, very solid. But I mean, it has this huge setup for like way down the road. I would expect it to run up to this 26 cent area very soon. Let's put it that way. So ALBT, it looks like it should run up to that 26 and then see if it can run up higher, but it should get moving. And like I said, it's setting up for like a month down the road. I have no idea what they have going on down the road, but they have something up. And that is ALBT and SBFM, Sunshine Biopharma. That one was looking good yesterday, and it's kind of looking pretty good right now. It did jump around a little bit, but it looks like the 50 wants to grab this bad boy and try to pull it up. So let me take a look at it. Has that weird look as it's sitting there. Look at SBFM tomorrow for a little popper on the Sunshine Biopharma. It's a drug manufacturer. We know the biotech, it's not considered a biotech, but anything in this industry is kind of running right now. Keep an eye on that one for sure because it's setting up right there. How about Sopa? What did that do today? I don't know if I even looked at it. Let me look. It was up 9 cents. Remember, it looked good. I don't know if I looked at it today, but it definitely rolled off. It got up to that, and it got over to 20 right there. It got to that 113, and it looks pretty good to continue up. So remember, we were looking at that, and I said it was going to run up there, and it obviously did, and it's looking pretty decent to continue. So that is your Society Pass, and it is up over 10% right there. What was on there next? Of course, our Maxon. And let's see, it was down 12 cents, but I think it's trying to roll back off just a little healthy pullback. I don't think it was anything too crazy here for Maxon. Hold on. Let me type it in. MAXN. Yeah, I think Maxon tries to continue to roll off tomorrow. Just a little healthy pullback. 20 is coming down on it at 764. That's my only concern right there. So have to see if tomorrow it can't pop up. It might have to continue to set up if it can't really roll tomorrow. So we'll watch Maxon. And again, once the 20 comes down, it will, but it has potential to try to roll off and try to move up to it. So I'll watch it and see if it wants to do that. And if it doesn't tomorrow, or in the next day or so, we'll know to wait for it, and then we'll know when it's really set up. So APDN, this one, remember I was telling you, is keep your eye on it. It's a day out. Well, of course it ran today. APDN, it opened at 28 and it got up to 35 cents and it's going to cross through. It's looking really solid, guys. So I know I told you it was about a day out and boom, there you go. And I know I had it marked up right there. So APDN did exactly what we thought it would. So that's trying to move, and I would look for it to try to cross through and run up higher. Had 3.5 million, 3.5 million in volume right there, APDN. Let's look at ABVE and see if that's going to do anything. I know we were looking at it and it was just kind of flat down there. 20's coming down at 56, it's at 52. And I think it's just going to kind of have to wait for it. Maybe a few more days or next week, ABVE will be ready. So we'll watch it. We did WISA SLXN. That was up a half, 1.5%, and it's just in the basement there. It's trying to get moving. I think it might have to wait for the 22, and it's at the 50. Just has all them weird looks right there. Hold on, let me take a look and see what this one did in the after hours. SLXN. Yeah, just kind of running flat. I even want to look at it on here. SLXN in the basement. I mean, it's trying to move up, but it's not catching that momentum. Today was a weird look. I don't think it's popping tomorrow yet. So I'll look at it, and I just think it's still going to be setting up. It is a biotech company in Israel. It did go up a little bit in the after hours, but I'm not so sure it's ready to pop. Does have a weird look though, so not sure what that's all about. And it basically opened and closed at the same price. That's what it's all about. And so it does have that weird look. It jumped out at me, and it always does that, but has that weird look to me. I don't like it. I told you that a couple times, but so let me see. Yeah, I just don't see it popping, but I could be wrong on it. But that look, it just doesn't look like it's ready yet. So I'll watch it tomorrow, and maybe I am wrong, but I just don't see it popping yet, so I'll keep an eye. AIEV, this was down 0.5%, but also pulled back in the after hours, it says. And this one has a crazy look too, just opened and closing at the same price. They keep doing this. And this one now trying to pull back on us. So AIEV was looking good the other day. Just a little healthy pullback, nothing too crazy. I'll watch it to see if it wants to roll off. And again, that 20 is right there at 48, and this is at 45. So might have to get set up for a few days, and then we can get that rocking and rolling. AIEV. Let's look at BMRA. That's at Biomerica. And it was up 2 cents today. I was saying it wanted to move. What did it get up to? 36. It's at 34 and a half. Opened at 32, got up to 36. And it looks like it's solid for tomorrow, guys. And there you go with another one doing exactly what we thought. BMRA. It was up over 10% right there. So there you go, 10 percenters every day and 100 percenters nonstop. So can't beat it when you're listening to this. ADTX, let's look at that bad boy. That's a recent splitter not too long ago. It did run up yesterday to that 186. That's right. And now it's just kind of jumping around as it's trying to set up. It's still in the basement right there, ADTX. Let me see. Yeah, it's just kind of jumping around. I think it might have to wait for that 20. It can't wait for the 20. It's at 498. It's way too high. Um, I'll look at it tomorrow, see if it tries to run up. Had a lot in volume. Had like 7.2 million in volume. So I'll take a look at ATX. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's in a strange spot right there. The way it looks. KTRA up 1.28%, and it ran up yesterday. We did look at it. It bounced up, just kind of went flat. I could see this one trying to run up some more as well. KTRA, let me see. KTRA. Yeah, I could see that trying to go up higher. I mean, it has that weird look today, like it didn't know what to do, and it came back down to that 19. It looks like up, and but I could see it bouncing back. It got back up to the 22 cent area, and doesn't look terrible right there for KTRA, and it looks like it's setting up to be pretty bullish right there. So that is our KTRA, and let's look at SPRC. And that was down just a little bit and then up more in the after hours. And this one we were been looking at, and it is trying to cruise. It went higher than yesterday, and our 20s right here trying to come down is at 23, right basically where it is in the after hours, I would say. So maybe we're at 23 and this is at 23 and a half. It's right about there with a weird old look. I would watch SPRC to see if that wants to move. That's a biotech company from Israel, and that could get up to that 30 cent area with no problem. So keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning, SPRC. And let's look at XXII, 22nd Century Group. And that one's just pulling back there, actually. So that one might actually cross down. Maybe today's its bottom. I think I might have said that yesterday, and maybe not because it's 20's at 20 cents. It was about to mess me up. The 20's at 20 and this is at 10. Had to sit there and think about that for a second. Um 20's at 20 and it's at 10 cents and it's coming down and hitting that line. Let me see what it did in the after hours here. XXII. I mean, it could roll off. It came down pretty good on it, and that could be the bottom today at that 0.1020, so just a little over 10 cents. So we'll watch that for a little if it's going to try to bounce out tomorrow. Just got into the basement again, and it could. So I'll keep an eye on XXII. SURE. And that one is an ETA or ETA, an ETF. Yeah, ETA it is, guys. It's an ETF. It was up $1.11, and it is the Advisor Shares Insider Advantage ETF. I'm not even sure what that is, but it is sure. I think this is supposed to be a different one. Didn't I do this yesterday? What is this supposed to be? I totally forget, but I think it was supposed to be a different one, and I looked at it. I'll have to look. What did I write down yesterday? Maybe it was Surge again. I forget. SURE. Did I write? I don't remember. It's SVUR. I did this yesterday. SVRE. That's what it's supposed to be. Saver one. My apologies there. Can't even read my writing, but I honestly wrote sure down, so that's why. But it's SVRE. I know that because that's what we've been looking at, and that looks a lot better to be looking at anyway. And that is just dragging that bottom today. It kind of just did the exact same thing it did yesterday. And 20's at 14, and this is at 12, almost 13. I think it's just got another few days to try to set up, maybe till next week. We'll obviously be keeping an eye on this one. It doesn't appear that it really wants to bounce tomorrow. Let me just take a better look on mine. SVRE. Yeah, it doesn't appear that it really wants to bounce hard. So we'll watch it and see what it wants to do if it's trying to curl back off there, SVRE. And I'll see if that tries to get moving again. SXTC, that is another drug manufacturer in China it is. And it is it was trying to make that hard curl up today. Just kind of went flat, but I have a feeling this is going to get set up. It's hitting that hard resistance and the 20 right there. Keep an eye on this. We know these China ones are getting crazy. This is going to cross through and start running. And that is SXTC. So keep your eye on that bad boy. And let's look at LSB. That's at Lakeshore Biopharma. It ran up big the other day. What day was that? September 30th. It ran up. We weren't, no, it ran up the other day too. Well, it ran up today, but it didn't run up October 7th. It ran up. And here we go. Let's look at it. I was going to say, I don't started running up a few times. So here today it opened at 385, ran up to what 437. It's still trying to set up here. So that's LSB, and it's one of them ones trying to make that curl. And like we always say, they just jump around. Well, today was a nice jump around day for it, but nothing, it's not ready. It's not a day out yet. So it was a good jump around day, and it will jump around as it sets up. We know that. So that's LSB, that Lakeshore Biopharma. How about S dot? I think they're about to split or something. Let's see. Oh, let me type it in. That's Satic Group. Let's see. Are they gonna do a reverse? Yeah, they announced a 1 for 10 reverse split today. So let's see when that's gonna take place. Effective on the 18th. So today's the 16th. So there you go. That'll be effective in 2 days. So not tomorrow, but Friday. And Sadik Group obviously is going to dip on that news pretty hardcore. It is setting up to run though. So let it dip down on that reverse split, and you know what's going to happen after it splits, guys. So get ready for it. So we'll keep SDOT on our radar there for that reverse split for Friday. So there we go at SATIC Group SDOT. We will be looking at a TPST, Tempest Therapeutics. That did bounce up today. Looking pretty good. Hit solid the resistance right there. Think it's going to have a little bit of pullback there as it tries to set up a little bit better, is what it looks like to me. Let me just look at it in the after hours. TPST. Yeah, I think you're going to get some pullback on that one. So let that pull back and set up a little bit better. And here we go. I'll rock and roll through laptop travels. Most of his list couldn't fit them all on there. My apologies, but I'll run in and grab the other ones. And I also have the cannabis sector. A bunch of them we'll cruise through, and then we'll hit the big caps, crypto, and everything else. So let me roll through some of these from laptop travel. We'll run through some of that list. There's always some great ones there. ALZN. Let's look at it down a penny. And this one is just getting it had a lot of run. Oh, well, this one, I gotta take a better look at this now. ALZN ran around a lot the last 2 days, pulling back a little bit, but sitting there on the 20, just real nice. I don't know what this is trying to do here, but we're gonna keep an eye on that one tomorrow because that's an interesting one for sure. Um, I have no idea what I even wrote there. What the heck did I even write? I have no idea. I'll have to go to your list and check, but CHEK, I have no idea what the second one I wrote down. CHEK, I know we looked at this last night and it was getting to be in a good spot. This one I would watch to try to run up tomorrow. Could get up to that $1.70 area. So keep an eye on CHEK because that's looking pretty nice right there. CLDI. Let's look at that one. CLDI. That one actually ran up today. I don't remember if we looked at it yesterday or not, but it definitely jumped up today and opened at 110, got the 122. Its 50's coming at the 124. I could see this trying to keep a little momentum, maybe just bouncing around in between that channel right now. So that's CLDI. It is BACK. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I couldn't even it looked like an L. I didn't know. I was like BALK. I couldn't tell. BACK, iMac Holdings, Medical Care Facility. Oh, this one looks really good. This one could get back up there to 143 with no problem. So BACK, that is looking pretty good to try to run back up. So BACK is trying to run back up right there. Looking good, BACK. I like it. So there we go with that bad boy. That was the second one I couldn't read. So thank you very much. CPIX. Let's see that guy. Cumberland Pharmaceuticals up a penny. This one was just kind of pulling back, but flat. It looks like it's trying to set up. It may just take a couple days for CPIX to try to set up right there, but not. Let me look at it in the after hours. It's trying to set up right there. Yeah, I would. I'm betting it tries to roll off that MACD as it sets up right there. So that'll be a setup. EFOI up 7 cents. And this one is curling up. This one should be a runner tomorrow again. It ran up today and it should keep running tomorrow. EFOI. So keep an eye on that. I know we looked at that not long ago. EFSH. 1847 holdings. Let's take a look at it. It's at $1.68 right here. It ran up. It opened at $1.68, got to $1.70, and then it kind of dipped down. But it has that crazy weird look. And let me just take a better look at EFSH real fast. Yeah, it did. It ran up there pretty good today. I'm not so sure, but we did look at this yesterday and it popped up today. It got 130. Oh, it ran up to like 494. Like I said, the FinViz is crazy. Um, yeah, it opened at $1.35. It ran up to 494. I was wondering why it looked so weird to me. So that's probably why, because it wasn't showing me what it did. And is it going to run tomorrow? Could be a little momentum play in the morning, but I'm not exactly sure. It's kind of hard to tell at this point after it ran. I guess it did run up in that after hours. Um, 85% it says. So I guess it ran up in after hours right there. So there you go. EFSH. There's one for you, Laptop Travel that just ran the after hours. GFAI. Here we go. That's at Guard Force AI, and this one I know we looked at the other day, and this one's starting to roll off. Keep an eye on this one. It's going to get moving, and it's called Guard Force AI Security and Protection. And I'm not sure what they have going on. No news, but it's setting up to try to run. I'll tell you that. So that will be a good one. Guard Force AI, GXAI. Let's take a look at that. Oh, there you go. EFSH was on the morning pre-market list today. So there you go. We went over it this morning and it ran up in the after hours for you. So I'm telling you, we go through like every single popper. You just gotta pay attention to the ones you like and nail them. Trade them smart. That's all you have to do. So you don't have to trade 100 of them. You just gotta pick the ones that you're confident in and they're solid chart setups and trade them smart and you will be doing perfectly fine. GXAI, here we go. This one started moving today, curled through. Let me see on my chart so I get a better idea. 142 to 173 and looking solid to try to continue its way up tomorrow to like that over $2 area. So that's GXAI looking decent there. JBDI, that's what it says. JBDI, I was couldn't really read my writing again, but this is a fairly new one. Opened up when on October or August 27th. And let me see, it did run up today. It's just a hard one for me to get a look at, but if I had to say, could be a little momentum play. Let me just look. JBDI. And yeah, I mean, it's a tough one for me to see. I like to look at that 6 month and but it is trying to set up. I can say that, but it's a hard one for me to get a good grasp on. And now you can see this only has 2 months of data. You can clearly tell I need like I look at 6 months and I can tell you what it's going to do the next day. And when I don't have that 6 months, it's hard for me to tell. Don't ask me why. It's not very conventional, I promise you, but it's just the way it works for me. So that's why I don't look at the new IPOs or and certain ones because I just don't get that exact look that I need. And clearly, if I get that 6 month and that look that I want, it takes me a couple seconds and I can get a pretty good idea. But as soon as I look at one with 2 months, I'm like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's kind of bizarre. So there you go. But you could just see I did it live for you, and I'm like, it's a hard one for me to get a good read on. So. That's what I look at and just telling you what I see. So that's JBDI. And again, just kind of new. So that's why I say I'll look at them. I don't mind looking at any of the new ones or any chart, to be honest with you. But sometimes I just can't get a good idea when they're newer ones just because of the way I look at things. So it's nothing against anybody, but that is why I don't go after any of the new IPOs for the most part. So KDLY, Kindly MD. That's a medical facility, and it looks like it's trying to pull back there. So watch for this one to try to pull back. I'm not exactly sure. Let me see what it tried to do in the after hours. KDLY. Yeah, that's a really weird look. I think it's trying to pull back at the moment, so I'll look at that one. LEDS. Did we do this one? It was a semiconductor one. We actually did it. And it was hitting that line right there at 121. And honestly, it could be setting up right there. So it's just a flat line, and it is not looking bad right there, LEDS. And we went through a bunch of the semiconductor ones. If you did not hear that, check it out. It was a little bit ago. You can listen to the replay. We rolled through like most of the sector, and I just kind of picked out about 10 or 15. I have no idea, but we rock and roll right through them. LIDR, this one is actually, is it trying to get back, set back up? It looks like it was coming. It obviously ran up. We know that. It pulled back down to that MACD a little bit. And now it looks like it wants to try to roll off of it and get cruising again. And if it does that, it's going to get higher than its high, which was, hold on, 131, probably 131. Honestly, it looks like it wants to run higher than that 131 at the moment, LIDR. So keep an eye on that one to try to get higher up. LIDR, NLCPL, net capital, yeah, what did I say? NLCPL, NCPL. Oh, I had to just catch myself on that. I was like, what did I say? NCPL, net capital. Here we go. Um, we were looking at this one. It did run up before, took a nice dip, and I'll tell you what, it's setting up really nice right now. NCPL, net capital, that's looking really solid. Keep an eye on that tomorrow as well. And that's one we had hit before, and now it's setting up again. So we will watch that bad boy and keep an eye on that in the morning. ONCT. Let's look at that. That's a biotech company, and that looks like it's gotten out of the basement in the right spot on the 20. And I can imagine this one's trying to run up into the twos tomorrow. ONCT, and I think we looked at this yesterday, possibly, and it was trying to move. So it did move today, and it looks like it wants to continue. So you can keep an eye on that to try to continue that momentum. ONCT. And here we go. Let me take a look at this one. PLSA, is it, or PCSA? PCSA. That's what it is. And wow, this one looks really good too, right there. PCSA, I would say keep an eye on that in the morning because that one's setting up. That's a biotech company, opened at 122 today, got up to about 134. It's sitting in the right spot and it's looking solid. So PCSA looking good. Is that SST System One Inc? Oh, that one's setting up really nice too. Oh yeah. Look at this one tomorrow. SST is looking solid. So that one looks great. System One Inc. That's a nice one. And we did the SVRE. Let me hop back in and see where I reposted them so that I'd have them. So let me just take a quick look. Here we go. Let me look at Tara. I ran out of room, so there's a couple more that weren't. I didn't write down. Tara, remember we were saying she was looking hot. She's looking hot. She should keep running. So we said that the other day when it was down, and now it's up to 186 and moving. So opened at 179, got to 188, and it's cruising. 71,000 in volume, nothing crazy. And that's Pro Tara Therapeutics. So keep an eye on Tara in the morning to continue to run. And in fact, Tara could have a nice run in the morning, to be honest with you. I'd really keep an eye on Tara because she's looking even hotter than I think. Let me look at her. Yeah, Tara's looking hot, guys. So keep an eye on Tara in the morning. She's looking good. TOP. If I don't have to sneeze, it'll be good. All right. TOP trying to cross down and trying to go up. Hold on. All right. I thought I had to sneeze. TOP. Let me type it in here. Look at it. Curling down there, trying to crawl up. It's honestly giving me two crazy looks. I mean what it could do, it could pull itself back up, and I wouldn't be surprised because it crossed down today, but it's looking great. And it's a Hong Kong capital market one. I could see it pulling itself up and trying to pop up tomorrow if everything's looking good. So look at top to try to pull up and try to move. That's what it looks like at the moment anyway. TPST we actually did, WISA we did, XBP. XBP Europe Holdings, that's up 16 cents and had a nice dip on yesterday. and bounced really. And this, if you look at this, it had that curl down and hard bounce up. A lot of them are doing that, and that's why it's like, you have to get that look and see if it wants to do it. This did exactly that, XBP, if you want to look at it. And it is, let's look at it and see. It kind of does look like it wants to continue that run up tomorrow and get over that 50, which is at 116. I would watch XBP to try to run up a little bit higher right there. And let's OKLO we did at the beginning. That one ran way up, but look at it in the morning if it's going to continue. NNE, that's another one we had looked at before. These are semiconductor or special nuclear stocks. That's what they are. These are the nuclear ones, nano nuclear. That's the word. Uh, they're nano nuclear energy. So these are the nuclear ones and not semiconductors. So yeah, these ones we had gone over before. This one just popped up and should continue that crazy momentum tomorrow. So that's NNE and SMR, New Scale Power Corporation. This one ran up today, $5.45 in the top. Watch this one to be a momentum play in the morning as well. And of course, we did our Yang. And like I said, I think it was just a little healthy pullback today on that. So there's our laptop travel, laptop lowdown ones that he gives out at night. So there we go. KDLY is doing a stock repurchase plan. So there you go with that one. KDLY. I know we looked at the kindly and laptop travel said they're doing a little stock buyback repurchase. So there you go with that one. We'll have to look at it. And like I said, it does have that weird look today. So I'll take a look at that tomorrow. Let's look at some of the cannabis stocks. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else, and we'll do our crypto and big cap real quick and wrap it up. So here we go with our cannabis sector, because I'm telling you what, you want to see some setups. Oh my, I already know how they look. So let's roll through them real quick because they are looking sweet. Most of them are, I must say. And we'll start with ACB, Aurora Cannabis, and it is at 555. It was up 6 cents and 20 to hard line and everything. It's curling up. It's looking bullish and setting up to run. So ACB looking great. Cara. Now this is like a biotech company, but I know they were doing stuff with in the cannabis field. I don't know exactly what the heck they do. I don't even know if they're still in it, but they were at one point, and let's assume that they are. But CARA is curling up hardcore to hit that line. It looks like it wants to get cruising up to that to the 20 at 20 almost 28 cents. It's at 26 and a half, and it wants to pop off of there. So look at CARA, it's looking solid. SNDL, oh man, that one's looking really, really good. Just setting up, just curled through. 20's coming down and that's setting up to get wild. So SNDL looking great. Tilray, TLRY, Tilray brands up a penny, setting up beautifully. I mean, it's so beautiful. On October 10th, it came down to 145. It's looking really, really nice right there. And it just hitting that bottom, and it's going to start moving back up and setting up perfect. So that is Tilray brands. So take a look at that one as well. And here we go. Hold on one second. I'll look at that one. Oh wow, look at that. Laptop Travel's asking about the one chart. We'll go over to TPST at the end right there. So just remind me. I'm just going to roll through these cannabis ones real quick, and then we'll definitely look at that. That is a crazy looking chart. So we will check that out again. But yeah, Tilray, TLRY, looking wild right there. So take a look at it. Let's look at some of the ETFs on it real quick. MSOS. This one is at 6.99. It was up 10 cents, up another 2 in the after hours. And this one's about to make that hard curl up and get rolling. And I mean, it's going to go from 7 to probably 10. So SMSOS looking great. M MSOX is the advisor shares MSOS 2 times daily ETF. It's at 219. And this thing's about to curl. It just curled through today hard, and it's about to get cruising. And the 20 and 50 are meeting, and it's about to pop. So take a look at that bad boy because that one wants to rock and roll as well. And that is MSOX. Something in cannabis is about to happen, and I'll figure it out for you because I do it all the time. So not well, I look at the stocks all the time and break down the industry, so I'll figure that out. YOLO, YOLO, up 4 cents, 325, and it crossed through, and it's looking really good and real bullish to get rolling. So don't YOLO this one right there because it's looking good. And there we are with TOKE. Do a little Toka Cambria Cannabis ETF at 598, setting up to get wild right there. And it is really going to blast off. You want to talk about one that's going to be token, that one's looking good right there. So that's TOKE. CNBS, Amplify Seymour Cannabis ETF. It was up 5 cents at 439 and it's about to curl through hardcore, and that one's about to run. So all these bad boys are setting up beautifully, and we're looking at MJ. What is it? MJUS it is? Yeah, MJUS. Couldn't read my writing, but Amplify US Alternative Harvest ETF. That was up a penny, and that one's at 149, and that one's curling up and getting crazy about to. So they're all about to start cruising and you know that there's something going on. A couple more cannabis stocks, OGI, Organi, Graham Holdings, up a penny, just setting up right there, about to cross through, and that one's going to get up onto the $1.80 area and then pop off of there. OGI and CGC, good old canopy growth. Let's look at it because this one's a pretty big one. It's rolling off the MACD and the 20's right there coming for it at 436. And this one's going to get popping. So that is CGC. And I have to go over to Cureleaf, which is only on the OCs, the OTCs, because that's what it is on stock charts and that had 259,000 in volume. It's at 298, and it's kind of hitting the line and bouncing, I guess. Let me look. Cure Leaf. I didn't even look at it. I just threw it on there because it's a big one, and I remembered it's an OTC. So hold on. It does look like it's trying to get set up there at 298. So that is your Cure Leaf, and it is at 298. And it does look like it's trying to set up there. So there you go at the cannabis sector, guys. I mean, it is setting up like crazy. So I noticed all them bad boys. TPST, let's look at this bad boy again. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, them big old red candles there. You had huge October 10th. It opened at 157 and ran up to 159, then came down to 102. And then today it opened at like 143, it says, ran up to 159. Its low is 109 and it's at 111 right now. I'm just going to look at it on mine just to see how accurate. Yeah, they're pretty accurate. And then yesterday it ran up from 104 to like 191. So it got over to 2 the other day. Um, yeah, it's just crazy. This thing is all over the place. And it looks like that bottom obviously was going to be October 14th at 92 cents. So I have no idea what's going on with this bad boy, but I'll tell you what, should be setting up pretty bullish as you have your hard resistance coming down. You have your 20 and 50 all meeting up right there, cutting these guys. I would assume it's trying to get moving. So tried to bounce off the bottom, pulling back a little bit. Let's watch and see if it can reverse itself tomorrow and get bouncing again. So that is our TPST, and it is a wild chart. I'm not going to lie with them, them big run ups and pullbacks, and then a little bit of a run up yesterday. Kind of wild looks right there. And let's look at crypto real quick. Let me hop on the app, go through some of these bad boys real quick. Bitcoin's at 67,466. And I said it wanted to get to 68. It got over that. It got to 68,401, and it is still cruising, looking good right there. Nothing to worry about. Ethereum's at 2,623, and that one's looking good to try to get back up into that's going to be the 100. So it's got to get through to 100. Ripple's at 54. and that one's trying to get back into the 50 and 100. It's curled through and it should start ripping again. So that's Ripple. Bonk did run today. Or Bonk, Doge ran today. I mean, that's at like 12 and a half. When we looked at that yesterday, I think it ran up into, did it get to 13? Yeah. So Doge ran. Cardano's at 35. Let's see. It was sitting on the 50. It still is. It looks like it's kind of just sitting on that line. I'm not sure what it wants to do. So we'll have to see if it actually wants to bounce or not. And we'll look at Bonk real quick because I was talking about it. And we always do. And it was up like almost 5% more. And it does want to go bonkers. It's crossing up and it's trying to run there. So that is Bonk. And let's look at our big caps real quick and our Mag 7, see what they're up to real fast. Here we go. Let's cruise through, see what's happening here. Good old GameStop. GME. I'm telling you guys, look at your options because this thing's about to get cruising. It curled through, curled up, and it's about to get rocking and rolling. AMC. Sorry, apologize about that. Like I said, I'm not 100%, definitely under the weather. Can't even type in MAC. All of a sudden, I have Mac MAC on my screen. Let's look at it. It's way up. MAC. I don't even know what it's called. I'm not even going to try. It's a real estate company. Never heard of it. And it's at the top. And it looks like it's going to run in the top. So if he's want a momentum play in the morning, this is at 1893. Look at MAC in the morning. That one looks like it's going to run up a little bit more. But let's look at AMC this time. And that is up 8 cents. And that curl, like I was saying, it was getting ready. This thing's gonna get cruising, guys. So we're definitely gonna be looking at our options on these guys because they're gonna get moving. Chewy setting up to get cruising. So CHWI, you're gonna see all the meme stocks get or meme meme stocks getting cruising. You're seeing the meme coins getting start cruising too in the crypto space. So things are looking much better. And and like I keep saying, you guys know what I've been saying for 2 or 3 months. So if the outcome in 20 something days is the way I've been saying, you know what I've been saying for 3 months. And I mean, every day the the spread gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Where everybody thought I was crazy 2 months ago, they're going, wow, dude, that's pretty impressive because that's when that spread. That them betting things are pretty accurate. We all know that. It's kind of crazy. However, the hell they know all that stuff, I have no idea. But I mean, they get these football games in every sport. They get these scores almost perfectly. It's insane. And so yeah, they definitely know what goes on, and clearly they have odds on the presidential election this year. It's legal, and there's gambling going on, so it's a wild scene. But you can see what they're doing. Nvidia, I already went over. That's curling up. You can bet that's going up in the morning, so that's going to get rolling. Apple, AAPL. That one's just sitting right there. I mean, it's setting up so bullish. Like next week, it should get cruising. Look for it down here in like the 228s if we can get it down there. It got down to 229 today. If you can get down to 228, it's pretty solid right there. Google, that was down like 16 cents. And this one actually reset up again. And it's going to roll off that MACD and get cruising. So tomorrow, Google looks really good, guys. I would say Google wants to try to run tomorrow as well. Let's see, Amazon, let's see that guy down 80 cents, super bullish right there. Just a little bit of pullback, but Amazon's going to get moving as well. That's going to be over 200 soon. It's at 186. Meta, oh, let me type that in right. META down 9 foot. Look where it came to, guys. 576. How crazy is that, right? What'd I say? It came down to 574. What'd I say it needed to come? Now it does. It needs to come lower, 550s. But did I not say Meta needed to come down and get to that 576? Bam, there you go. There's our charts 101 right there. But nah, let it come down to 550 and then we'll rock and roll Meta on the way up because it will be super bullish. I mean, it was just crazy running in the top and we knew it had to come down, but I honestly didn't even notice that it came down there today, to be completely honest with you. So there you go. But that's a nailed one. Microsoft came down a little more than I thought it would. It's at 416. It came down in the after hours of 415, pulling back a little, but setting up super bullish. I would expect Microsoft to start to turn around again and start to cruise because I was honestly surprised to see it pull back today. It was set up and but it's all good. It's gonna, like I said, look for your best price down here and get rocking and rolling on Microsoft because it is setting up super bullish. And let's look at good old Tesla. That was up $1.76. It's still just sitting down there hanging out. And again, if anywhere's down in this 218 area, if you can get it, it got down there today at 218.93. And that's probably going to be your bottoms. It hit that 213 the other day. And I'm not so sure you're going to see it get that low. And it's going to get set up again, Tesla. So just keep an eye. They have their earnings coming up on the 23rd. So that is next week. What is it? Next Wednesday, right? Yeah, next Wednesday is Tesla's earnings. So we'll keep an eye on that as usual. And let's look at Nike real quick because it's up $1.82 today. And yeah, we kind of said this one's going to get cruising. And again, this one's going to set off and get back into the 90s, I said yesterday. And it's at almost 84. And it's starting to rock and roll. So there goes Nike. That's going to get moving again. Hold on. There we go. How about good old Rivian? Is it getting ready? It's at up 9 cents. It's still not ready. It's curled through, trying to bounce. It's getting better. The 20s at 1093. Let me see. Rivian. Let's look at it. It's just starting to try to get set up now. So we'll keep our eyes on Rivian and get that best price. It's finally getting there. PLTR, we knew this had to pull back as well, and it's coming down. So let's see if it's gonna. Let's see. It may try to stop down here around like that 39. It's at 41. I'll keep an eye and see what PLTR wants to do. Sophie's been running up, pulled back today. I think that topped out yesterday. And I think that's going to be pulling back, and then it'll set up the run again. And that is SOFI. And let's look at Boeing, BA, up 255. I said yesterday that was getting ready to move. And that did take off right there. And it should continue, to be honest with you. It's looking pretty good to run, try to get up to that like 161 area. So that's Boeing, BA. And let's look at snow. This one was kind of pulling back. There you go. 384. It is pulling back. So we'll watch that pull back. No big deal. How about Dell, DELL? That one was running up and then kind of just hitting the top. It's setting back up to get bullish again. So just let it have a little bit of pullback. Look for the best price on Dell, and then it'll get bullish again and run back up there. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, that's at 156, down 51 cents. This one's just pulling back. And again, just let it come down probably to that 152. I think I might have went over it earlier. But yeah, just let it pull back just a little bit, and it shouldn't be too bad right there and try to get bullish. It's really bullish off of that 148, has some really good support right there. And that's AMD. Let's look at lost my place. Here we are. Space. Here we go. SPCE up 38 cents. And no, I told you this thing's going to space, guys. I told you it's down here in the lower sixes. Now it's in the sevens, and it's going to keep running, get into the top, and you're going to be up in space. So there you go with SPCE doing exactly like we thought. INTC is actually pulling back. It was looking better, but let's see. It just curled through, and let's see if today's was that little kind of dip. Maybe it pulls back here to the 21. So look for that 21 and then it try to curl back up, and that's INTC. And yeah, it did. It took a nice little dip today. It didn't really look like it wanted to, but it did. And it wasn't anything too crazy. It would have come down a dollar or 35 cents. It's down to 1.5%. So we're not talking about anything crazy. It just came back a little bit. That's all. And that's INTC. And Disney was setting up 253. I told you it was going back up to 100. It's at 96.75 already. So there you go, up today. That's going to continue to run. SMCI is going to continue to run up. So keep your eye on that bad boy because that one's getting ready to get cruising. SMCI, this one, and this one, all looking good right there. Boom, boom, boom. Just marking up my list so I know what I say or something. OXY, Oxy down 30 cents. We know these gas ones are pulling back, so just let them. Coming up to an election, I guess they're trying to drop the gas prices. So there you go. ExxonMobil was up 31 cents. It looks like it's going to be pulling back, though. I don't know. It's the 20s right there. I have a feeling it's going to come back to like that 118 area. So nothing real crazy. It's at 120. So just let ExxonMobil pull back a hair. How about Mara? That was up today. And that's going to continue to run. It's up to $18, and that's going to keep going with the crypto rolling. And Riot was up 31 cents. It's hitting the top right there. Could even get through there and run in the top. So watch Riot if it wants to run higher. We knew they were running. CLSK's been running up. That's and maybe it's hitting the top right there. So we'll keep an eye on that CLSK just to see if it wants to hit the top, pull back, and run up higher again, just to set up. Coinbase went up like $14. I watched the thing. They had that they released the new thing. What a Coinbase Global. I don't know what the heck it was even called, but they had something. No, that was Robinhood. I'm lying. That was Robinhood. I totally am lying. That's not Coinbase. It was Robinhood I watched. So we'll go through Robinhood too. Coinbase is up though, $14, I guess, with all the crypto action and wants to run into the top. But let's look at Robinhood, HOOD. I watched that. That's who I scrolled down. I was like, wait, I don't see anything. But yeah, they had a whole new thing for their platform today, and it's pretty wild. I was watching it. I'm trying to remember what it was even called. I don't even see what they said it was called, but anyway, I tweeted it out, and it's for like futures and indexes and things of that nature, options, but it makes it real easy. Legend, thank you. Laptop travel on point. There you go. It's called Robinhood Legend. So let's you can take a look at it. Look really cool to be honest with you. So if you're not on Robinhood and want to check that out, I don't know what time. I think they don't open until what? 7 a.m. I'm not sure. I have to look. I forget what they open pre-market. So that's Robinhood, and they did have release the whole thing this morning or today, this evening. It was at like 6 o'clock or something, 6:30. So that was Robinhood, and that's HOD. Let's look at the CONL because that's at the two-time long coin daily ETF, and that's running up higher. And I told you, it wants to get to 40. It's at 33 now. It ran up $4 today. It ran up 14%, over 14%. So there you go with that one. We knew that. And here we go with DJT. It did pull back yesterday, and I'm telling you, I was lock in profits and let it keep going up. So I was saying it wanted to come back to that third or the to that line 25 right there. Would it get to 27.30 and then bounced right back up? So didn't quite touch it, but it was right around there. And boom, just bouncing. And I'm telling you, this thing's going to run in the top and stay bullish. So could see 40, 45 and we got it at 13 and boom, there you go. That's DJT. PHUN was running up higher today. Well, it got up to over 8 yesterday. It got up to like $8. And then today it opened up at 621. It was running up, got even higher than that. Let me look on mine. 745 opened at 552, got to 745. It's at 707 right now. It says 715, but it's way at the top as well. So this one's probably going to have to pull back. But another one, we knew it was in $3 range. It doubled in price at least. So that was PHUN fun right there. And we had fun with that. How about BlackRock? It just always goes up. Um, it went up another 875 today. It came down $1.75 in the after hours. It's in the top and it just keeps running. I'm telling you, this thing is insane. So BlackRock, nuts. PYPL, PayPal. That one's I is bullish and it's going to start bouncing and getting really bullish there. So watch for PayPal. It's setting up to get crazy off that $80 mark. So that's PayPal, PYPL, and we did Qualcomm's QCOM, and that looks like it wants to bounce up tomorrow again. I know it was pulling back the last 2 days, but it did look like it wants to oh, that one's like way up there. I think Qualcomm, it's super bullish right there. And I think Qualcomm wants to get cruising again. I mean, if it pulls back, it's pulling back to 168 and it's going to roll again. So nothing crazy there. And there we go. I'd say that's a pretty good market review for this evening. Let me make sure I got everything. I think so. Um, with extended hours trading in the Robinhood 24-hour market, you can execute trades from 8 p.m. Sunday until 8 p.m. Friday with some restrictions, and that's that Robinhood legend. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. You're going to be able to trade like all the time with the futures and stuff. So I'm going to have to check it out as well. I didn't have a Robinhood account, so I signed up for one of them real quick because I just put the thing out there, and I was like, oh, I just put my name and sign up for that legend account real quick because I didn't even have one. And Maxon, I'm telling you, it looks like it wants to roll off and get cruising tomorrow. So MAXN. I think that does want to get cruising again, so we'll watch for that in the morning. And let me just look real quick on StockTwit, see what we're missing over there, if anything. Let's just take a quick look and see what's going on. Robinhood, Fun, TSM, ATNF, OKLO, Uber, DJT, NNE, NVAX, and RKLB, which is at Rocket Lab, are all the trending ones. So let's just look. Tomorrow's earnings, there's a bunch of them. I'm pretty, yeah, there's like over 35 of them. But Morgan Stanley, US Bank Corp, CSX, Abbott Laboratories, just a bunch of them. Kinder Mortgage, KMI, and just a whole bunch of financial ones starting off tomorrow. And then on wait, was that today? That was today, Morgan Stanley. Yeah, they were today. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, they were all today. Tomorrow is like Nokia, the TSM. I was wrong. I was looking at today's. Tomorrow is Nokia, TSM, Netflix, uh, Western Alliance. What else? Blackstone, BX, Key Corp, just a bunch of other ones tomorrow. Crown Holdings, a CCK. So just a few that I recognize here. Just scrolling down to see. But yeah, there's about what 30 something more tomorrow, and then there's about 11 on Friday. So some good earnings coming up right there. And that's what's trending and what's active and all that good stuff. So there we go. I would say that's a good market recap right there. And let me just take a look. And boom. And Laptop Travel just said Practical Stock said breaking something historic is going to happen tomorrow on AMC and GameStop. So you know what I just said? They're set up to blast off, so I wouldn't doubt if something they start moving there. I've been saying both of them were getting set up right there. Even Chewy looks good, so CHWI. So there you go. All information presented here is for educational information purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thank you for hanging out. Laptop Travel. Profit Logics, John Wong, Tommy, Sherry B, um, Narasapu, I'll call you that. Narasapu, Bull Run, and Eric. How are you guys? Thank you for hanging out. Everybody else that tunes in, checks out the replay, greatly appreciate it. And always send me over some stock tickers. We love to break them down. We must have did like over 150 tonight. I mean, just added some more and just kept going. So there you go. And it took less than an hour and or 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we did that many stock tickers, and we kind of know exactly what's going to be popping tomorrow. So there we go with a really good market recap, I would say. You know, I'll be on at 7 a.m. for pre-market tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more 100%ers running, 10%ers running, and everything in between. So we've been nailing them lately. I mean, it's just been, I'm telling you, I picked up that little pattern. It took me a week to figure it out. And ever since we did it, it's been 100%ers almost every day in multiple ones. So we are crushing it right now. And like I say, you don't even have to trade them all. Just trade one or two and trade them smart, and you'll be crushing the market on a regular basis, and then you just keep them rolling around. You just have that one that you're selling, the one that's setting up, and the one that you're buying, and you just keep it like you're juggling them, maybe four. You don't want to go crazy with them, and you just get solid. You get the solid ones that you know that you love, and maybe run like, three big caps and a penny, however you want to do it, whatever works for your style and your lifestyle. And but yeah, that's what you do, and it's all about trading them smart. As I always say, you can pick all the 100 percenters you want, but if you can't trade them smart, they're useless. So it's all about trading smart. Whether you trade a 10% big cap smart or a small cap penny that ran 100% smart, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna make profit. You're gonna be happy as long as you lock it in and trade it smart. When you're not happy, when you watch it run up and you don't hit the sell button and you watch it run down and you go, damn, I could have made all that money. I knew I should have hit the sell button. I knew I should have did this. Well, then stop beating yourself up, lock them in. If it runs up higher, it is what it is, and you roll it over to the next one and you just keep watching your account get bigger. So there you go. That's how you trade smart. And again, all information presented here is for educational and information purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. But I just try to give you all my experience over 20 years and what works and what doesn't. And that's what I found to be the best strategy for me. And I'm just passing it along to you. So there you go. I hope everybody has a great night. And again, appreciate you hanging out. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. Let me know if you want me to look at anything in the morning. You know I will. And there we go. I'll see you then. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you in the morning.